everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back to Make Ahead Monday. Today I want to make some little colorful pieces of book pages for cluster bases. And I bought this new set. You do get what you pay for. It was a set of 24, I believe, water brushes. Maybe 48. The reason I bought it, it was $9.99. I bought it because back in my close to my heart days, they would sell these for like 15 bucks each. Cheapest I ever bought one for was like $8 online, but came with two of these. I figured, you know, if the markers weren't great, well, guess what? Markers aren't great. Some of them are better than others. Orange was okay. Light pink, this one was okay. This gray was nothing. This orange, very dry. They're very dry. So I decided I would take some of my water that I have in this little water bottle. I added a 1 drop of re-inker. After I did that, I realized it was oxide re-inker. So it may or may not do anything. I don't want to add any more because I don't want to clog it, but I've taken some book pages. These are from my Pickwick book, and I've just trimmed off the outside and I've divided it in fourths. I mean, there's no right or wrong side, so we're just going to go through. I just want to make a bunch of different colors, and what I'm doing is just making lines. See, this one works better than some of the others, but it's still not as opaque. Is that the right word? Not as solid as I would like. And yes, I know it's a watercolor. This one works pretty good. See, I can do this. Some of them you can't do that. Nothing comes out. So they're watercolors, so they're going to reactivate. There's a purple. Let's try this one. It seems to me like the darker colors are pretty good. The lighter colors are pretty much dried up. So, but the water will activate the ink. Well, it's not ink. Watercolor pigment. And let me make sure where that fold is down here. Anyway, it'll reactivate it, kind of spread it around a little bit. As I use them, I'm moving them over there. Let's see this. I was hoping this, oh good, because this is one of my favorites. And I'm not trying to make it completely, you know, saturated, but if I was coloring in something, you can see this one works pretty well. I have a ton of those coloring books that were all the rage a few years ago, and I've even made one. If you're interested in that, I can leave the link below. I made one for Mother's Day for my mom's group and gave quite a few of those away. Let's see. But I don't like coloring in with just like markers or whatever. This is very similar. So, and because it's watercolor, it will reactivate. You don't have to worry about it drying. I suppose you could do one square at a time if you wanted, but then I feel like I don't want to work on the wet page, so. And these may work a lot better on watercolor paper too. I'm using old book page, so I can't completely say that they're trash. But, excuse me, let's spray these. And depending on how much you spray is how much you're going to get activity. So if you don't want too much, blot it. These are just some old baby wipes that have dried out on my desk. These two are very similar. I think this one's a tad darker, but those four colors turned out pretty good. So I'm going to just tear these. Don't try to cut this. It will not work. You cannot cut paper when it's wet. So I'm just... And they dry actually pretty quickly. I'm not worried about that ruler carrying over anything because it's going to be... These are bases, so I'm not too concerned. That's why I wanted to try the markers out on these. I figured, you know, however they turn out, they'll still get used. Woo, a lot of ink on here. So I'll have to clean up after that. All right, let's do another one. Yeah, this isn't hard. So I've just taken one of these pages and I'm just cutting off the edges because I just would like the words. There we go. And I think I like that side better. I'm not saving these because I have hundreds of them. I'm just going to fold it once, fold it twice, and that gives me kind of a guideline. So what else we got in here? Let's do some green. This is kind of an olive green, I would suppose. Oh, it's like a lime green. Nice. That one's pretty wet. These would be great for doing some mark making too, I think. But I would probably, to be honest with you, use the ones I had shown you the other day that were acrylic paint. Okay, this is a brown. So I hope you all had a good weekend. My husband had Friday and Monday off, so we're going to go to the movies later, see the Fantastic Four. Excuse me. And then we're going to go to dinner. So he's back to work tomorrow. All right. So we got brown, we got green. Here's another blue. I was thinking these might be good. Gail does a video, or she did a video where she used, I don't remember if she used a template for the frame or what, but she painted a frame and then on Bookpage, and then she stamped in the middle of it, and she makes little tag toppers, and not toppers, but embellishments with them to put on tags or journal cards or whatever. And I thought this might work for making the frames. Here's another teal-ish, more on the green side. Yeah, so some work better than others. Like I said, the light ones, and it could be the book page. But I just wanted to make a few of these. I've got 12 done, I think, already. And I don't know that this ink in here is doing anything. You know what? I think I'm going to put another drop. I probably shouldn't have shaken it. I probably should just use the ink off the top, but I'm going to put one more drop. Oops. I don't think it's thick enough because you can put, you know, like those powders, the misty powders and stuff in here. So I don't think it's strong enough to, thick enough to make them, you know, a problem with the sprayer, but we'll see. So that's a lot of saturation on that one. Give it a second before I blot it. Just let that ink move. Good. This one, looks like I cleaned my glue bottle with this one. This also will help it dry a little bit faster. But these book pages are very thirsty, so it's not taking very long for them to dry. Oops. So are you guys having fall-like weather where you are? We are not. We're back up in the hundreds. Excuse me. Or at least the upper 90s. I apologize for the coughing. I am not sick, but I did just have a protein bar, and the nuts or whatever, I don't know, something that they put in those protein bars, the little pieces, particles, get stuck in my throat. I can eat 3 almonds and be, you know, choking 2 hours later from the almonds. Again, just sensitive to it. Let me take a little drink. I got me one of these circle with the cartridges in the top. This is a 32-ounce stainless steel. It's heavy. It weighs 4 pounds when it's full. I really like it. You can dial in how much. It's sugar-free, but you can dial in how much flavor you want. So anywhere from, you know, 1 to 10. I've been doing about, I've noticed if I have it on 3, it'll last about 2.5 days. If I do it on 2, it'll last about 4 days. I wouldn't want any more than that because then it's just sweet. But anyway, all right, so let's see, I've got a good amount. Let's do one more. One more. I've got a ton of different markers. Let's make sure there's book words on both pages. Okay, use this one. And you can just tear these off if you want. You don't have to cut it. Yeah, so I know I need to do some clusters, and I just thought, you know what, I need to try out these. So I thought, ooh, I could make some cluster bases with those. And then also I want to do some cluster bases with this stuff too. These are the other markers that I was talking about that were acrylic markers. Those were a good purchase. I really enjoy those. Oh, and I just bought, I think I showed you these. These are the Tim Holtz collection Botanic Collage, because I want to make tags with these. I think I saw those on Gail's channel. And then I got some of these full page stamps from Amazon. They have a bunch of these. I think it's called GLOBLELAND vintage stamps, and they're really big. So they measure 11.5 by 8.25. Okay, so they're A4 size, but they'll work on an 8.5 by 11. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to working with those too, because I'd like to use them as a full sheet. And if there's anything that you guys would like to see, let me know. But I also saw, I think it's Hickory Art Co. that Gail's been following well, there's another green. These are all very neutral. I mean, you can hardly tell the difference in the tips. It's like the neutrals, but like this one's darker, this one's good, greener, this one's more putty. Anyway, she has a book, an ongoing book that she's using to prep for clusters and other ephemera, which, let's do this purple one. And so yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I've got several books down there that would work. So I have an art gathering, we're calling it Crafty Koinonia, for my we're putting together at the church. Maybe like we're gonna meet on the third Saturday of the month, every other month. Well, for the end of the year, we're gonna do every other month and see how the turnout is. But not like art classes or anything, but just everyone bringing whatever art they're working on. So whether it's crochet, knitting, sewing, tatting, quilting, scrapbooking, whatever. Diamond painting. I like this one. Let's do a yellow. Oh good, that's a better yellow than that other one I did. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. That's next month on the 20th. We're going to do that, and it's an all-day event because, you know, it takes a long time for people to gather their stuff and bring it and set it up and begin working on stuff. And then, you know, if you're only meeting for 2 or 3 hours, you're spending most of your time setting up and cleaning up, not getting anything done. So we're just going to have a good time hanging out together. That's what Koinonia is. Okay, and that one looks like a yellow orange, maybe like a this one's good, like a goldenrod, I guess is this one. This is a very grassy green. Well, no grass that I have where I live, but this is what this is your regular green from your crayon box. Green meadow or something of that nature. And let's try this, see if it's goldenrod. That's orange. Not my favorite, but I can live with it. If it has other things, I don't mind it being used with other things. It's just not my favorite main color. I like blues, I like yellows, I like pink, purple. Okay, so where's my water bottle? Right here. I can't tell that any of this ink is even coming out with this, so I guess maybe when it dries. Oh, okay, I can see a little bit there on the edge, but that might be ink too, so who knows. Probably don't need to wet it down that much, because you see we're going to get a blending there. I don't mind if they're a little grungy. In fact, using these over the top are going to make them even more grungy, which might not be a bad thing. Mix some colors. Nah, it's fine. I soaked up enough to make it not run anymore. So let's just divide these apart. And there we go. So these are some, whoops, cluster bases. That one's stuck to the ruler. And then next week we will put these to use. How about that? So I've got quite a few. I think I've got 20 now, so that should be plenty. And next week we will come along and use these. So if you want to play along, make some border or some background bases for some clusters. I've got lots of little pieces, parts on my desk that I want to use for these, and I'm gonna kind of try not to think about it. So I might sit here and go through the rest of these markers and make a bit more of these, and so I can have a good stack. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.